Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Factory Fiction. How's quarantine going, everybody? We've been in for about a week, and if you guys watched Friday's video last Friday, we pulled the jet on in. Now, last night, James came over, and we were working on the Mark IV, and guess what? I didn't film any of it, and we made really good progress. So, I mean, everything going on in the world, I'm sure you guys are gonna cut me a little slack, but another thing also happened for us is we added a family member. We got a new puppy on Friday, so our weekend has been really full. So while me and James were working on the car, we basically, I was running back and forth in and out of the house because Angie also had a class for work, and they did that entirely online. Was in there doing her class. I was going in and out to check on the puppy and the kids, and me and James grinded out a bunch of work on the GLI, and I literally didn't film any of it. So let's kind of talk about what we did. So I got stuff like literally laying around. Other stuff that I also did not film was I cleaned the majority of the interior. As you can see, there's no mold anywhere on the seats. I have a donor seat, driver seat, because my slider adjuster wasn't working on my driver seat, so I went ahead and swapped those over. So my driver seat's good to go now. I will have to wire brush the tracks and shoot them again in some paint. This one's not nearly as bad, but driver side's pretty bad. So we will end up having to do that. I did not clean the carpets that go in the trunk yet. Took me 3 days to clean this interior carpet, you guys. It was terrible. It was so terrible, and I didn't think you wanted to watch footage of that, but it was so disgusting, and it looks really good now. I suppose since the flex, I'm getting like really good at cleaning carpets. However, I showed you guys before there was standing water in here, but these were underneath the carpets, and they, like, yeah, it's raining and they've been outside, but they looked exactly like, well, minus all the tree debris that's on them, but they were every bit this wet when we pulled them out, and like, I'm definitely not putting them back. They're like tearing. Yeah, they're pretty disgusting. So on to yesterday. So we found out that we had to unhook the brake master cylinder to get to the clutch master, and so we ended up basically undoing a lot of the stuff that we had done in the previous video, which is part of the reason I think why I wasn't like, yo, let's film this. It basically would have been like a run back of the previous video, just in reverse. However, the clutch, let's see if I can, the clutch master is like literally right down, it's past there. Let me see if I can, well, that's about it, but it's literally like right down under here, and we had to take off the whole clutch pedal and everything, and then we bled the system. My buddy Aaron let me use his power bleeder, which is awesome. Man, it worked really well. So we have we installed clutch master, reinstalled the brake master, we bled everything. We were having kind of some issues. We bled and bled and bled. You can still see there's a paper towel down there. Let's see if we can see the little bleeder screw. Yeah, there it is. Maybe from here. Anyway, it's so dark. It's terrible. Okay, so it's literally like right here. So we bled that, and then nothing. Clutch was still living on the floor. We were pumping it, still on the floor. And we realized the lower hard line that goes from the brake master to the clutch master, we forgot to connect it. Well, I mean, James technically forgot to reconnect it, but I'm literally, I don't care whose fault it was, it doesn't matter. But we found it. That was the important part. So then we we should have obviously attached it when all this stuff was out, but then all this stuff was back in. So then we went ahead and pulled the intake off again, and that's literally as far as we could pretty much get, and then jammed hand in there, and we couldn't get it up far enough. So what we actually did was we took, I have all these hangers hanging here from when I did the bed liner on the Flex, and so I took one, I bent it, I stuck it down in there, and gave it a like I had one hand in there, I aligned it where it needed to go, and then I literally just pulled up on it until it gave way and pulled out, and it sunk it right in there. So then we restarted the process of bleeding everything, and guess what, guys? We got a clutch back. Clutch doesn't live on the floor anymore. It's got great clutch pressure. Boom. So here's kind of the plan. I need to still order a alternator because the alternator is bad on this car. So new alternator. It needs a new axle. And if you like, obviously I've really cleaned in here since the other video, but there's like, it's basically shooting because the boot is tore on the axle, it's basically shooting grease up into the engine bay. And it's basically more cost effective to buy a whole new axle, so I need to order a driver side front axle for this also. And then brakes, it needs new brakes. The pads on the front seem thick, but they're like super, just everything's clapped on this thing, I'm telling you. So everything I can, I'm really trying to replace, but there's like 0 pad left on the rear. You can see that? Yeah, it's pretty terrible. So that, I've told you guys before, I have the bag to fix the air ride. So then we're gonna put it on air ride. We still have to, so we basically have to get to that point, put wheels back on it, lower it, get it in the driveway, and then Logan's gonna come over and do a full leak test. So we're basically, I'm guessing what's gonna happen is we're gonna put it in the driveway, we're gonna take everything out of the, and there's really not anything in the interior. I got some interior pieces like sitting in here because I didn't really have anywhere to put them right this second, and a towel, but it's pretty stripped in here. So kind of sit him inside the car and basically hose off every seam so he can truly try to find out exactly where the leak is and then fix it. And then it's basically reassemble. I'm 95% sure I'm gonna wrap this. I also have new wheels coming for it. We're actually doing a trade with the wheels that were on this car. I actually got a hold of the guy who originally bought those wheels, so he's trading them back because they're sentimental, and he's gonna put them on another GTI. Anyway, so that's the plan here, but it's actually, the sun actually came out today. I wasn't even gonna film today, but it actually turned out to be like a real nice day here. It stopped raining, it's nice and sunny. So yeah. So that's kind of what's going on. There's a lot of small projects to do. Another thing I'm thinking about is there's a lot of stains that I could not get out of these seats. You know, like there. And really, they're not terrible. The seats themselves, like, don't have very much wear on them. It's just they're kind of dingy, even after scrubbing them. Like, you guys can tell, like, how they're kind of just discolored. I love these seats. I love the Recaros that came in the GLIs. I don't know if I'm a hugest fan of like the ribbing on them, so I'm actually thinking about maybe dyeing them to give them just a uniform finish on them. So still throwing that around. Also, with everything going on, it's hard to get parts in a timely manner. Certain things on Amazon are taking a lot longer to come. So, yeah, I'm trying to decide what order we need to go in. I also still need to go ahead and redo the trunk setup. My plan for that is the box that my John Cooper Works lips came in that I got from a subscriber. The plan is to figure out what to do with these lips. I just cleaned my office, so I don't want to put them in my office, but they're back in plastic. They'll be fine. I'll probably stick them out in the shed maybe, and then tear down this box, but use the box to make a template for my new trunk setup, and then I can probably go ahead and work on that somehow. I still need to make like a final call on exactly what material I'm going to use for that. I actually went and looked at a parts Jetta last night, and I was going to buy all the interior pieces, so like, ow,